Make no mistake, I take this serious. When someone reports that their resident's been shot, their business been shot at, they've been threatened, every good police officer puts themselves there. And so do I. This is not some abstract idea to me with people I don't know and don't understand. These are citizens that trust us to keep them safe, and we're doing everything in our power to do exactly that. And I would say that when someone feels that they're so at risk they have to take their law in their own hands, here's what I would say to them. Don't. You're risking harm to yourself, but to others. Let the police do their job. Give us the time and distance to the job. Yes, there's been an uptake in the new year, but as I said on your show earlier, we are not on our back feet anymore. I made that statement in the very early times of this task force. We are moving forward. We are now actively hunting these extortionists, and they know we're hunting them. Make no mistake. Right? They are changing their MO because we're hunting them. And we will continue to hunt them. We will root them out from every dark corner they try to hide in, and we will either put them before the courts or they will be deported.
What can you tell us about your coordination with Indian law enforcement, Indian officials, and have any of your investigators traveled there to learn more about the individuals that you say you're hunting?
Yeah, so members of the federal side of the RCMP, they continue that side of the work to liaise internationally on that. They work with the task force. We share the evidence we have with them, and it's their job to be forward-facing with international government on that.
Right now, the gunfire is happening in Surrey. The people who are doing the firing are in Surrey.
Yes.
And the ones they're firing on are in Surrey.
Yes.
These are taxpayers in Surrey. This is our business community. And Mr. Brewer, you need to hear, they're talking about not just leaving the city, some of them are talking about leaving the country because they feel unsafe. Many are not reporting, many are paying because they feel they've got no protection. What kind of protection guarantees are you providing for those who have been threatened and who you know their places are being fired at? The house in the Bear Creek area, without naming the house or the individual or the business, they were getting warnings. They'd been fired at. The day before, they got the message again. They shared it with the police, and yet there was no police presence nearby when the shootings occurred. Because of that, I can tell you, my phone rings constantly. People are saying, are we at a state where we have to look after ourselves because the police has failed? This lack of confidence in the police system is scaring people like me. So I need to hear a strong message from you about individual safety for the victims.
So here's my message. If you are or have been a victim of extortions and you feel you're unsafe, you need to contact your local police jurisdiction. Every one of those police agencies are working with the victims. Every one. They are getting the support they need. Sometimes, yes, they're asked to do things to change their lifestyle. Well, we assess further and make sure they're protected. But I will tell you that if you have lost faith in the police, that is misguided. The police are out there, they're doing their job, both locally and provincially and nationally. We are surging resources into Surrey specifically from around the Lower Mainland. Provincial units continue to be presence patrols in that area to target those areas, most likely based on the intelligence we have at the time, to be subject to either extortions, right, where they're drive-bys or with shootings. We are doing that. Do we get everyone? No. Absolutely we do not. But after the fact, we are gathering all that evidence, and it's pointing us towards things such as vehicles, people, residences, and we're working on those residents. That's why we've made so many arrests. That's why we've conducted so many search warrants, because we are using that information to go after those people.
So who is in charge of the safety of the victim, the safety plan and everything? Is that your task force? Or
No.
is it the SPS?
So the local police jurisdiction is responsible for the safety of the individuals. The task force works with them to provide intelligence with them, and so that they can formulate the most comprehensive plan they can for that individual or group's support.
Should they no longer be? Do you perhaps have too many cooks in the kitchen here?
No, we have a very clear plan here. The police of jurisdiction, they handle the initial front-facing, and then they deal with the actual victims in their communities, because they are best suited to deal with individuals and issues within their community at that level. The task force works with them and works also with the federal side of the house and other agencies such as CBSA. And then the task force will work with other police agencies that are provincial to surge in as required. So then the task force falls under me. We have coordination meetings, we talk daily. I talk multiple times during the day with the province on this to ensure we have the resources we need, working closely with Crown prosecutors, for example. That relationship has moved miles since we started the task force, because now we have prosecutors that are well-versed in extortions. Our police officer investigators work closely with them. That has worked, and we've got more files forward for charge approval than we would have at any other time that I've seen in my career, because of that close working relationship and the effort that Crown has put in, plus the resources that the province has put in. Not just money, but the province has worked hard working with the federal government as well, but also to ensure that the provincial police service has the resources they need to move into those communities.
We've heard from many residents and business owners who consider this to be a crisis. When will police consider this to be a crisis?
What I meant to say with that, we take it very serious, as we do with all threats to public safety. But what I'm saying here is, we tend to conflate the word crisis. And when that doesn't mean to the individual it's not serious, and it doesn't mean to the police it's not serious. But you've got a lot of people out there now that are so afraid that they are considering taking the law into their own hands, and that cannot happen.
Whose fault is that?
I don't know whose fault would that be.
Do you think it's the media's fault?
No,
Like you do.
I didn't say that. What I said is we all have to work together here to ensure the public that the police, government, the media, high-ranking people in the community are doing everything they can to ensure that this issue is being dealt with in the most expedient manner, and so we can get an end to it. That's the key here, right? We can flood police officer every corner for how long? And then we walk away, it'll start up again. We have to root this out. And so, yes, I would ask that the police are working closely with community members, working closely with government, and we are working closely with media, and we need to continue to do that.
Mr. Brewer, except for the 7 arrests and charges, one of the frustrations is, aside from those arrests and charges, there's no new information that's coming out. Has the task force learned anything new in the last couple of months? Is there any patterns, anything new that you can share with us that people can maybe take solace from and say, okay, maybe these guys have got a grip on this?
We've talked about the fact that the task force itself has moved into Alberta to work closely with police partners in Alberta. We've made arrest and executed search warrants in Alberta. That means that these extortionists can't leave BC and hide and have an area to regroup. We go and we follow them into there and work with our Alberta counterparts to deal with them there. We work with our counterparts in Ontario, right? And so you want new information is, yes, we are working closely on shared targets in those areas. So these people, these extortionists move across the country, and now we are following them and our counterparts are following them back. There's no place for them to hide. We have investigative techniques we're working on right now that are making great headway as well in identifying these groups and who's controlling them. And as I said, I'm not prepared to give out specific information on investigations because we got to get those packages to the court, and also the techniques that we're using, I don't want them to know until we get them before the courts.
Is there a time frame that people should be looking at, maybe within the next few months, there will be more charges, more arrests?
There are arrests and there's charges going forward, not weekly, but certainly we have another tranche of authorizations and search warrants we're working on right now. I can say that. But also we do have a number of files with Crown that we're just finalizing to get charges laid. And again, let's not forget the number of investigations and people deported that CBSA has been working on. That's unique. That started here with us, with our combined task force, to bring in a federal partner to really cause more issues for these extortionists. So when we find them, people that shouldn't be in the country, have overstayed their visa or have breached their visa, they are going to be sent out of the country.